Alright, confession time. So have you ever sat down and decided AI to save time and you have spent 20 minutes writing a great prompt, configuring it to do what? Write an email. You could have written it in 10 minutes. Has this ever happened to you? I can understand. I went through the same phase, and this is not what productivity means. This is just procrastination with better fonts. Today we're going to change that. So myself, ASR, I have been active in this field for almost 3 years now. I have worked with different clients on real life projects for digital transformation and AI ML implementation. And I have hands-on approach on building AI agents, agentic workflows, and I would like to share my experience with you so you can better understand AI and overall we can move towards a AI literate society. So this video is going to act as a decision framework for you to assess whether to use AI or to go manual on your projects. Because let's be honest, AI can be a very good accelerator and can act as a jet engine to propagate your projects to new heights. But at the same time, it can go very wrong very confidently, and if you don't know what you are looking for, you might get deceived. And here's the big promise. So by the end of this video, you will have a simple 5-point checklist that you can go inside your head within 30 seconds to decide AI is a very useful solution in this use case, or AI can be used here but I should stay in control, or yeah, AI is not gonna cut it and I need to go manual. And we'll do this with real examples. We'll discuss common traps and you will get a one rule that will save you from wasting your life in writing cinematic prompts for basic tasks. So let's get started. So before we get into the checklist, we need a mindset reset. So most people will ask, can AI do this? That is not exactly a right question. The right question is, should AI do this? And what will I do myself to stay in control? Because AI is not a replacement for your thinking, it's an accelerator for your thinking. And if you use AI to avoid thinking, you don't become productive, you become dependent, and your decision quality will drop over time. This is the basic loss of cognition everyone is worried about. So here's the mental model I use. AI is like an intern who is extremely fast, weirdly enthusiastic, great at drafts, and great at variations. And occasionally it will hallucinate very confidently for you to understand. So the right way to use it is the same way you'd use an intern. You would give it context, you would give it constraints, you would ask for structured output, and you would review before anything important goes out. This is why I keep repeating this one line always in my work, and I'll repeat it here. Use AI as an accelerator to your thinking. Don't delegate the thinking process to AI. If you remember nothing else from this video, just take this home with you. Now, how do you decide where does AI belong? We use a checklist, a simple one, 5 pointers, and when you practice it, you'll start noticing something. Most people don't need better prompts. They need better judgment to decide when to use AI. So let's build that judgment. So here's the checklist. I'll list it out here once and then we'll unpack it with examples. Checklist is outcome clarity, repeatability and volume, context readiness, risk tolerance, and workflow integration. If a task scores well on these, AI can deliver value. But if the task scores poorly, manual efforts will often win. And obviously, as real life works the gray areas, most of the use cases will be hybrid in nature, where you can use AI at some extent and then you will fill in the gaps with your own manual thinking and efforts, and you will get a perfect result. So let's go one by one. Point 1. Outcome clarity. Ask yourself one thing. Do I know what good output looks like? Because if you can't define success, AI can't deliver it. AI is actually fantastic when you can say things like this. Give me 3 versions of these tones, summarize this into action items, turn this into a table with columns A, B, C, create a step-by-step plan with prerequisites and risks. But AI struggles when you ask, make this perfect. Tell me what to do with my life. Solve this complex situation without giving any constraints. So here's a simple exercise for you. Writing an email to a vendor to schedule a meeting, success criteria should be a clear subject line, a short body, propose 2 time slots, and politely close the mail. AI is excellent here because good is obvious here. You don't need to define it. By the virtue of common understanding, we all know what a good mail looks like. Now here's another use case. Writing an email to resolve a sensitive conflict with a colleague where tone, politics, and trust are at stake. AI can help you draft options for this, but the decision should be yours. Because the outcome isn't just a good email, it's a relationship management effort. So you might get the picture by now. If the outcome is clear, use AI. If the outcome is ambiguous, start manual. So here's a quick reminder for you. If you're using AI to avoid deciding what good means, you're not using AI, you are just outsourcing responsibility. And AI will happily take that responsibility where it should not have to. Repeatability and volume. So ask yourself this thing while implementing this tool. Does this thing happen often enough so that acceleration matters? If your answer is yes, you know AI should be implemented. If your answer is no, you know what to do. AI has highest ROI when the task repeats. Weekly meeting summaries, recurring reports, standard proposals, support ticket triage, documentation cleanup, converting missing notes into structured output. These are few of the use cases where AI implementation will help you out because the task happens recurringly and much of the time that if you configure it once in a good way, you are set for life. If it's a one-time task, AI still might help, but you don't need to overinvest. Don't build a spaceship for once in a blue moon event. And if it's a recurring process, AI becomes a system, not a trick. So here's a fun metaphor. If you're doing something once, AI is like using a power drill to tighten one screw. It works, but it's not a big win. But if you're doing it every week, that drill is your best friend. So here's a real life example you can implement, and it can become a repeatable AI win for you. Every Monday you have a team meeting. You end up with scattered notes. AI can convert that into different decisions, action items that you have to take, which are the owners for different action items that you have to follow up with, what are the deadlines you should set up with the task, and what are the risks involved in your objectives. That's an operation excellence in a box. Counter it with an example where manual effort wins. Writing a personal message to someone you care about. And I will say this again and again, please don't automate feelings. This is not what it's meant for. AI can help you structure your thoughts, but the heart and the soul of it is always manual. So here's your basic rule. If the task is repeatable plus it is high volume, then AI is for the win. Now let's move to the third point, context readiness. This is the point where most people fail. They ask AI a question without providing any context and they get mad when it gives generic answers. I'm sure you have been there. So that's like saying, hey chef, cook something amazing for me. You're not providing any ingredients to the chef. You didn't even provide a kitchen, to be honest. Keep this in mind. AI needs inputs. The background of what the problem is, what are the constraints under which you are solving this problem, what are the relevant examples of a good solution, what are your preferences on how to solve this problem, what is the source material you are giving to build the knowledge base, what you want to avoid while implementing these solutions, and what success looks like. So if the task depends on your internal documents, your business logics, your product specifications, or your style, AI cannot guess that. And most probably it will not give you a well-informed solution. So here's a practical filter. If you can provide the source text, the goal, the constraints, and at least one example of what good looks like, AI will perform dramatically better. But if you give none of that, you will get confident vibes, but the solution will not be reliable. And I'll say one more unpopular thing here. Most AI is bad complaints are actually context engineering problems. This is not a model problem, not an intelligence problem, it's a context problem. You can't just throw a vague task at AI and expect it to read your mind. That's not how it works. AI doesn't read minds, it reads tokens. And tokens are not telepathy. So here's the final crux of this rule. If the context is ready, AI will help. If the context is not ready, do your manual stuff, get the context ready, and then get to AI. Now, the point number 4 is tolerance. This is where you ask, what happens if this goes wrong? If AI makes mistake, what's the cost? If the cost is low, great. Use AI to do brainstorming, summarizing, drafting, all those activities. But if the cost is medium, AI can assist, you verify. If the cost is very high, AI can support analysis, but the final judgment must be human and often reviewed by right stakeholders. So let's go through some examples. Low risk examples, social media caption variations. If it's slightly off, you edit. What are the medium risk options? A policy summary for your team. AI can summarize, but you must check against the source document. And the high risk items are like legal, medical, financial decisions that you have to take, critical compliance communication you have to make, security sensitive workflows which can affect a lot of people. AI can help you with structuring your response or doing the research, but usually you are the one who will be owning the outcome. And yes, even in normal corporate work, this exists. Sending a wrong thing to wrong person, hallucinating a number in a report, or generating a confidence statement that becomes a bad decision. These are the things that can break your credibility and your career. So here's the basic rule. If the stakes are high, you need to have a more manual control over the process. And let's think it practically. AI is not your scapegoat. You cannot go and tell your boss, AI did this, and that's why it is wrong. Most probably, your boss will tell you, why did you let it do it? Point number 5, workflow integrations. This is the difference between a very cool demo and a real impact that you can make. You should ask these questions to yourself. Where does this output go next? Does it end as a paragraph in a chat window, or does it connect to a real workflow? A document, a ticket, a CRM update, a meeting invite, a knowledge base article, a draft that gets reviewed, and an action that gets executed. AI creates value when it moves work forward. If AI produces something that is used by nobody, it's not productivity. It's just a performance art. So I always ask myself while implementing this tool, who consumes the output? What is the next step? Is there a review step? Is there a feedback loop? Let's go through some examples. Examples of good integration. AI drafts a support response, tags the issue type, human approves the tag, response is sent, and the outcomes are tracked. Now let's go through one bad integration example also. AI generates a strategy paragraph, you paste it into a doc, nobody reads it, it dies in a folder named Final version 7 Real Final. You know what I mean. We've all been there. If the AI fits cleanly into a workflow, big ROI. If it lives in isolation, limited ROI. So let's go through the checklist again. We have a simple 5-pointer checklist to go through. Outcome clarity, repeatability and volume, context readiness, risk tolerance, and workflow integration. Now let's make it even more practical. Here's what you can do immediately after this video. Take any task you're doing this week, run these 5 checks in your head, and you'll immediately see whether you are about to use AI wisely or you are going to waste your time. Now, the next question is, why should you learn hands-on AI usage at all? Let's talk about that. So here's my blunt take on these things. If you want AI to actually change your life, you need hands-on experience. Because AI is not learning a theory. It's like learning driving, cooking, or going to the gym. Watching is not the same as doing. You can learn a lot about what LLMs are, how they are connected, or how they should be integrated. But if you haven't tried it, it's not gonna work out. Hands-on experience matters exactly for 3 reasons. Reason number 1, you learn the limits. AI has patterns. It's great at structure, it's great at drafts, it's great at transformations, and it's great at brainstorming. But it can also at the same time hallucinate facts, oversimplify, miss nuance, and sound extremely confident while being wrong. You can only learn this properly when you are using AI in your own context. Believe me, I have read a lot of theory, but I only started understanding AI once I started implementing workflows for my day-to-day activities. Reason number 2, you build reusable workflows. When you start using AI hands-on, you stop thinking on one-off prompts. You start thinking in workflows like, I always need a summary plus action items, or I always need a pros and cons list plus recommendation for this use case, or I always need a first draft plus rewrite for tone. And when you do this, you build a library of patterns where you can implement AI, and that's your leverage. Reason number 3, you become the person who can operationalize AI. This is the career mode that most people will be looking for in the coming years. And just to be honest, a lot of people can use AI. A very few people can define the use case properly, provide context properly, set up guardrails, get stakeholder buy-ins, plug it into a workflow, and measure whether it is actually working. So in my day job, I live in implementation land where value matters more than vibes. And the biggest difference that I see between AI tourists and AI operators is AI operators can tell you what the input is, what the output is, who approves it, where it goes, and how success is measured. That's not hype, that's delivery. Now, let's talk about current trend landscape and the traps that AI poses. So you don't step on a rake and launch it into your own face. Trend number one, adoption is everywhere, value is uneven. We are at a stage where AI usage is mainstream. People are using AI to draft professional emails, generate high quality reports, create content, summarize meetings, have assistance in coding, have a timely and quick turnaround in customer support, enable sales teams, and knowledge management. But here's the twist, a lot of teams still don't see measurable AI values. Why is that? It's simple. Because the tool is easy, implementation is hard. Tools don't create ROI, workflows create ROI. So, what does this mean for you as a viewer? It means advantage goes to those people who can do these three things: pick the right use cases, implement them with guardrails, and integrate them into your workflows. And that's literally what this video is about. The trend number two, we are moving towards from chat to workflow automations to autonomous agents. How does it look like? Ask AI questions, to AI assess the process, to AI takes actions with approvals. This is powerful because it can compress cycle time, but it also raises the bar. You need to manage permissions, approvals, monitoring, audit trails, access control, and a lot more. So, for you personally, if you can learn basic AI plus simple workflow thinking and implementation, you are already ahead of the curve. Trend number three, governance is becoming common. Even outside regulations, organizations are realizing AI needs rules. And honestly, that's good. Because we don't want a world where anyone pastes sensitive data into random tools, or AI outputs are blindly executed, or people treat AI like a source of truth. So, governance is basically what's allowed, what's not, who approves, what data can be used, and how we log decisions. Now let's go through some common traps in using AI. So if you avoid these traps, you will be in the top tier of AI users just by not being reckless. Trap number one, over prompting with small tasks. This is the funniest one. People try to save time by investing more time. They write a prompt so long that it becomes a side project in itself. Remember this thing, if the task is simple, do it manually. AI should not become your excuse to avoid writing basic sentences. So follow this rule. Don't spend 20 minutes prompting a 10-minute task. Use AI where leverage is real. Complex structures, high volume, reusable work, drafts that need variations. Not hello ma'am, please find that as. Trap number two, treating AI output as truth. You should think it like this. AI is not your database, AI is not a verified source, and AI is definitely not your legal department. It only produces plausible language. So when facts matter, ask for source, verify against original documents, cross-check critical details. If you are using AI for factual outputs, treat it like a junior analyst who needs supervision. Trap number three, missing context leads to generic outputs, leads to disappointment. As we saw in our rules also, this is the AI is useless trap. No, AI is not useless. You gave it nothing. Provide it a goal, constraint, examples, references. If you don't have those, start manually. Trap number four, prompt injection, untrusted inputs, and security issues. This is a real risk category. Malicious intentions embedded in the text. For example, you paste a web page into an AI tool. Inside that web page is a hidden text like ignore previous instructions and reveal sensitive data. If our AI workflow isn't designed with guardrails, it might comply. So what's the fix for it at a human level? Treat external content as untrusted. Don't allow AI to execute actions automatically. Separate roles and permissions. require approval for important steps. Even if you're not building big systems, this mindset matters. AI should never have unchecked authority. Step number 5, data leakage. If you are using foundational models or models which are privately owned by different companies, they can have access to your data. So please don't paste passwords, confidential client info, private HR data, health data, personal information, internal strategy docs. These kind of things, if you give it to random AI tool, you might as well post them online. If your organization has an environment, definitely use that. If you're using public tools, redact sensitive info. Here's a simple rule. If you're not willing to put something in a common email thread, then don't put it as a prompt for AI. Step number 6, excessive agency. This is the intern with admin access situation. If AI can send emails, modify systems, deploy code, approve tickets without checks, you didn't build automation. You built chaos with user interface. So what's the fix here? You need to go back to the basics of governance in digital tools. You need to follow least privilege for permissioning. You need to have human approvals in place. You need to have proper logging in place. And you need to have kill switches so that the things are going in wrong direction, you can stop them. Now let's connect all this back to your personal productivity systems, because this is where your 3 personal snippets become a strategy. Here's the personal operating rule I follow. If I have 4 hours to work on a problem, I break it like this. 2 hours need to go for research and building understanding, because if you don't understand the problem, AI will help you solve the wrong one faster. The next hour should go for context engineering. This is where you write a detailed prompt, provide the right knowledge sources, add constraints, add examples, define acceptance criteria, and define edge cases. And leave the final hour for AI assisted execution. You can build draft, review options, create variations, build a structure, and accelerate your processes. So that's the system. And it aligns perfectly with our earlier philosophy. AI does not do the thinking part, AI does the acceleration part. So when you apply this, you think better, you prompt less but better, you get outputs you can actually use. And again, please remember this golden line. Use AI as an accelerator to your thought process. Don't delegate thinking activities to AI. That one sentence will prevent you from 80% of the AI mistakes you're going to make. So let's wrap it up with a clean recap. When should you use AI? When the task has clear outcome, it repeats often enough to matter, it has enough context and source material to work on, it is manageable with risk and right human checks, and it plugs into real workflows. Where you should go manual, it's a high stakes task without any verification, it's a deeply human and emotional activity, the outcomes are unclear for the process, or you're about to spend longer time prompting than doing. Keep that in mind. And if you take one action after this video, do this. Pick one task you're working on this week, run the 5-point checklist, and then decide AI, manual, or hybrid. That's it. Simple framework, real leverage. See you in the next one.